Good morning. It is Sunday, June 9th, 2024, and this is the Center for Spiritual Living Midtown. I'd like to ask you a favor. Right now or right after the service, please share this recording with everyone in your online communities. Our team has enlisted some of the best speakers in science of mind and new thought community, religious science community, and we want to share it with as many people as possible. Can you do that for us? Thank you. June is an amazing month, and there was several powerful holidays, including Memorial Day, Shabbat, Flag Day, Juneteenth, and many other holidays. Too many to actually mention here, but I want to have an early shout out to the fathers because next Sunday, June 16th, is Father's Day. My father has passed over, and it is a especially touching day for me when I remember my dad and the love that he had for me. In addition, the whole month is Pride Month, and that makes it special to everyone who is proud of who they are and who are those people around us. Here at the Spiritual Living Midtown, we are a very diverse community, and we are proud of our diversity. We are not just CSL Midtown Atlanta anymore, thanks to the pandemic, which pushed us to go online and expand our reach around the world. We are CSL Midtown, wherever you are in the world. So no matter where you are watching this broadcast or listening to this recording, you are welcome here. Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide is a very diverse in our foundations of faith, if you will. Some of us are Protestant or Christian, others are Catholic, Judaism, Buddhism, Islam, Hinduism, Taoism, Native American traditions, and other native traditions, and of course, all types of new thought and ancient wisdom. There are far too many faiths and philosophies to list here, and as an international community, we welcome all faiths, and CSL Midtown, your CSL Midtown, welcomes you. You are all welcome to worship and celebrate with us. No matter what pronouns you choose, what color your skin is, what choices you make as to who to love, or whatever choices you make in your personal life, if you're not harming others, you're welcome here. You are celebrated, and we are here to be with you and to be proud with you. So please be proud of yourself. Please join me as we come together in the celebration of love with God, celebration of life, and celebration of you. Such is the nature of God that all it asks and all it wants is the opportunity to appear. You are that opportunity, and so am I, and so it is. You are a unique manifestation of divine intelligence. For a better understanding of who we are and what we teach, please listen now to our Declaration of Principles as read by members of our congregation.
I believe
in one God,
one absolute power and first cause to all things.
I believe that this power is perfect love
and creates out of a desire to express love.
I believe all thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience.
I believe in the unity of all life
and the immortality of the individual soul,
forever unfolding.
I believe
in the eternal goodness,
the eternal goodness of God,
the eternal loving kindness,
and the eternal givingness of God to all.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. You can find the full declaration as written by our founder, Ernest Holmes, on our website at cslmidtown.org. A practitioner is someone who has demonstrated the ability to use spiritual practice and spiritual laws to bring about great changes in their own lives. They have also proven that they know how to guide others to bring about positive changes in their lives. They are trained and licensed by the Centers for Spiritual Living out of Boulder, Colorado, and they are available to you to provide spiritual guidance and support. You may contact one of your practitioners through our website, again, cslmidtown.org. I'm Lee Huffman, and I have the honor of serving as the president of CSL Midtown Board of Trustees and more importantly, as a licensed practitioner of religious science today. I have the opportunity to serve as your practitioner and share some thoughts and an affirmative prayer, which is called a spiritual mind treatment. This is my last month as president of the board of trustees. I've been honored to serve as a board member and a leader here at the center, along with many other great leaders. And I've just gone through some very interesting times as an organization. I love the center and I love the teaching, and I love all of you. The last couple of months, I've spoken about the idea of mental equivalence. In the Science of Mind textbook, our founder, Ernest Holden, explains mental equivalence like this. He says, prayer does something to the mind of the one praying. It does not do anything to God. The eternal gift is always made. The gift of God is the nature of God, and the eternal givingness. God cannot help making the gift because God is the gift. We do not have to pray for God to be God. God is God. The Master Jesus revealed the nature of divine being by his personal embodiment of the divine nature. He said, as you believe, it shall be done unto you. The whole teaching of Jesus was based on the theory that we are surrounded by an intelligent law, one which does unto each of us as we believe. He implies the necessity of faith, conviction, and acceptance. That is, it must be measured out of us according to our own measuring. We must not only believe, we must know that our belief measures the extent and the degree of our blessing. If our belief is limited, only a little can come to us because that is all that we believe we are worthy of. We call this the law of mental equivalence. That comes from Ernest Holmes in the Science of Mind textbook in chapter 17 on mental equivalence. In short, it says, they who can visualize something big will receive or manifest something large. They who can only manifest something small will be given something small. In order to move forward into a better future, we need to envision a better future. As this center, CSL Midtown, moves forward, as members of our transition team believe it will, members of the minister selection team and practitioners and the board of trustees will come together in what is called a co-creation workshop. That workshop is all about creating a larger vision for the center, one that is larger than the one that I believe that we have as a leadership and a congregation today. With that vision will be shared with all of you and will become your new mental equivalence for CSL Midtown. This is an amazing time for us. It is an amazing opportunity for some of you. It is your opportunity to contribute to the mental equivalence of the center and to co-create the future of the center. If you are part of the center, your mind will generate energy that will be part of that mental equivalence of CSL Midtown. Your thoughts will be telling the universe what the center should become, and that's what it will become. So be careful with your thoughts. As we said in our Declaration of Principles, all thought is creative, and how I choose to think. All thought is creative, and how I choose to think creates my personal experience. Your practitioners and your board of trustees know that this center is full of greatness. They know that the messages that come to you through the airwaves from CSL Midtown are powerful messages full of life and love and promise. I want to say thank you to those members that have the mental equivalence for this center, that have kept it alive and kept it going. We have a very unique story to bring, even within Centers for Spiritual Living. CSL Midtown has its own personality, and we love that personality. So if you consider the Center for Spiritual Living Midtown to be your home, it might need a little bit more from you. Not a lot more, but just a little bit more. A little more thought, a little more prayer and treatment, a little more talk to your friends and family to invite them to come and join us in viewing these services on Sunday and throughout the week online. and a little bit more giving. For some of you, this will take the form of a little more time, and it might even include being the final person who will complete the senior minister selection team and become part of the co-creation team. We have most of them identified today, and I want to say thank you for each of you for stepping up. If you would like to make an important contribution to the center, toss your hat into the ring and be part of this co-creation workshop. It will be an online event over multiple days, and you can show your interest and commitment by sending an email with your interest, name, and your phone number to president@cslmidtown.org. We need you to take this action today so that we can move forward with our planning. As the Master Teacher Jesus said, as we believe, it shall be done unto you. When we have the mental equivalence of abundance and growth, we will attract abundance and growth. And that is on the way to us. Now, let's move into a spiritual mind treatment. What is spiritual mind treatment? It's simply an affirmative prayer, a prayer that affirms what we desire and what we know that God desires for us. Spiritual mind treatment, as spoken about in the section on mental equivalence, is a treatment for the person who is processing it in their mind and their heart. If you wish, a treatment spoken by someone else can be taken into your mind and become your own. But this only happens if you accept what is said or what you hear as your thoughts. Because, as we said a few minutes ago, all of our thoughts are creative, and how we choose to think creates our personal experience. Because of that, I'll speak the treatment in my own words for the treatment of my mind. And if you choose to accept any part of it as your own, you can internalize those words for yourself, and it will become your thought, your treatment, your prayer to God, your mental equivalence, and God will respond with what God always responds with, which is yes, and so it is. Together through treatment, what we internalize and emotionalize and think about will manifest. Because due to our faith, we know God's response will be yes, and so it is. So let's get into a posture and mindset of prayer. If you want, you can set up a little bit. I know we're in much more comfortable seating areas when we're here at home. Relax your body, open up your arms and legs, put yourself into a posture of receiving everything that the universe has to offer you. Let's take a deep breath. And as you exhale, become present with this moment. Take another deep breath. And as you hear this prayer, let any part that resonates with you be your own. Think on these thoughts, and they will manifest for you, and in this case, for us. So please know this with me, if you will. There is only one God, one creator, one source, one first cause to all things. There is only one, and today I call the one source. Since source was the only thing in the beginning, it had to create everything out of itself. Source is everywhere, in everything, omnipresent, because it created everything. Source is in me. Source is in all those within the sound of my voice. Source is everything that happens in me, through me, around me, to me, and most of all for me. Source is the center for spiritual living, Midtown. Source is love. Since source is good, everything is love, and everything is good. The center we call home is love, and it is good. My world is full of blessings. I am thankful for all that I have and all that I am about to receive. Today, I imagine even more for me and for the center, more for the people of the center, more for people hearing the exciting truths of religious science and new thought. I see people volunteering to help the co-creation and recreate the center. I see people consciously giving of their time and their funds to support the center and to bring a new spiritual leader to the center. I see this in my mind. I see this in my heart. I see the center growing and having an effect on people all over the world through the power of the internet. I see the center finding a new physical home here in Atlanta where it can hold classes on religious science and have a youth group and experience the joy of young people around us on Sundays again. I see something better than the center has ever seen, both the international connection that we have and the local connection that we have, local connections all over this world. I know that wonderful things are coming to this center, even if we have not asked for them specifically. I know that all things I desire, that all I believe and all I can imagine is the beautiful future of the spiritual home. It is coming, and I trust in Source of all the things to give it to me. I trust in love. Starting this very moment, the center is blessed with people selfishly give their time, talents, and finances. It is blessed with a team who will rewrite our vision and mission. I know that nothing can get in the way of these blessings that I desire because it is created out of Source. Nothing limits me or the center. I swat away all negative thoughts that come to mind because I know the positive will come. Change is part of the nature, and change means growth to me. So I embrace change. I rejoice in the blessings of the Centers for Spiritual Living Midtown and the members of this community. I rejoice in all things that come to us. I release these words knowing that my thoughts are creative, and they create a positive personal experience for everyone who comes in contact with this spiritual center, CSL Midtown. And together we say, and so it is. The theme for Centers for Spiritual Living Worldwide this year is Grand Arising. And this month, the topic is Holy Boldness. This week's subject is called Fired Up. I'm very pleased to welcome Eugene Holden as our guest speaker, and he will tell us why he is all fired up today. Eugene has been a student of New Thought and Ageless Wisdom for over 35 years. He's a licensed science practitioner for over 19 years, and he has led the World Ministry of Prayer at the Home Office Center from 2007 to 2017. We really are pleased to have Eugene come and speak with us today. Welcome, Eugene.
Thank you. Good morning, Grand Rising, CSL Midtown. Yes, I am all fired up. Man, Faith Rivera and Harold's in that pain with that song. Let's stand together. So again, as was mentioned, the theme for the year is Grand Rising. Grand Rising. So my question to you before we get into this is, are you rising grandly? Are you stepping into your boldness? Are you standing in who you are to be with that grand rising? What I love about that theme, Grand Rising, is it reminds me to every day when I rise that I am here to be my grandest, my greatest, my boldest self that I can be. Which brings us to this month's topic, which is holy boldness. Holy boldness. Now, it's interesting, right? Because sometimes we hear the word holy and we think that we have to be but let me remind you of something. The next time that you're out driving or walking and you're in nature, just stop. Stop and smell the roses. Stop and take a look at the nature around you. That is holy boldness. It is just being. So when it comes to us, when it comes to you and I, when it comes to you, me, and we are here to be our most magnificent selves, bodaciously. Now, that doesn't mean that you're going to be, outlandishly loud or anything like that. But what it really does mean is that we are connecting with that holy part of us, that divine emanation that is at the very center of our lives, and boldly allowing it full sway. So today's topic is, as you can probably already notice, is I am all fired up. I am all fired up. And the subtitle to this is Passion, Clarity, Gratitude, and Trust are the kindling for being fired up, right? Passion, clarity, gratitude, and trust are the kindling to being all fired up. So I want to break this down just a little bit, taking one line from that song, live the dream of your highest calling. And that takes connecting with our passion. So remember, I was saying that some of the kindling, or the kindling to being fired up, is passion, clarity, gratitude, and trust. So let me start with passion. In the dictionary, there's a few definitions, and this is the one that I chose. It's a very short one. Passion means intense desire or enthusiasm. Intense desire or enthusiasm. You know, are you enthusiastic about why you're here? Are you enthusiastic? Do you have a passion for your purpose for being here? Oh, but I hear you. I can hear you. I have special ears. These earbuds are pretty special because I can hear you asking, well, but I don't quite know what my passion is quite yet, Eugene. You know, so how do we find out what we're passionate about? Ask the question. Simple. What am I passionate about? Right? What are you passionate about? If you're not sure, then you get to ask the question, what is it that you would love to do most? Stop and ask yourself that question. What is it that I would love to do most? Oh, man. Now, if money were not an issue, right? What would you be doing? What would you love to do most? Is it write that book? Is it write that song? Is it working with teens, or working with children, or working with the elderly? Is it speaking? Is it singing? Is it just being of service? What would you love to do most? And once you start to tap into the answer of that, now you start connecting with what you're passionate about. When you answer that question, what would I love to do most? You will have a pretty good sense of what it is that you're passionate about, because the joy will come up, the enthusiasm will come up, and you'll go, oh yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Now I'm fired up. I'm fired up. Yeah. So if you are not, again, if money were not an issue, what is it that you would be doing? In other words, my brothers and sisters, what excites you? What fires you up? Put away the thoughts about, well, I have to go to work, or my family won't like what I do, or put away all of that, because you're not here to live for them. The truth is that you're here to live for spirit. The truth is that you are here to live for you, which is the same thing, because there is no separation. There is no separation between you and spirit, because it's all one. Guess what? Who put that? What do you think put that desire there in the first place? That infinite intelligence that has created the heavens and the earth and all in between. So do not worry about what people are going to think. I can't do this because they may say this, or I can't do this because if I do what I'm passionate about, I won't make the type of money that I'm making now, but I don't like the job that I'm working in. Oh man, it's a drudgery, but I get that paycheck every two weeks. And here's the thing about that, right? That inner desire, that inner purpose is tapping on the door of your heart. So ask yourself the question, what am I passionate about? What am I passionate about? What fires you up? What fires you up when you think about it? It's an interesting thing, just a real quick, not a sidebar, because it's just a part of the talk here, right? Is interestingly enough, years ago, I stuttered a lot. I mean, to get a sentence out was a chore. It was like today. It was that bad, right? And so I never thought that I would be doing this, speaking in front of people, until I just let go and surrendered. When I was working with the World Ministry of Prayer and started doing trainings and classes and facilitating workshops, and then I realized, oh, my passion is, my purpose is to be a light and a way shower, to joyfully assist others in remembering who and what you are, divine beings of light, and together we reveal heaven on earth. That's my purpose. That's what fires me up. That's my passion. That's my passion. And I never thought that I would be doing this. But as I said before, as I surrendered to it and asked the question, what turns me on? What fires me up? You know what fires me up? Doing this, right? What fires me up is teaching classes, because I love light bulbs going on. And I tell students sometimes that I am not a teacher. I am a facilitator of you remembering who you are, because I can't teach you anything that you don't know. I'm just here to facilitate the remembering, the memory banks of, oh yeah, because how many times have you been in a situation in class or whatever, a lecture or a workshop, and you stopped and you said, oh, I know that. It's because there's something within you that does. So ask yourself the question, what would I be doing? What would I love to be doing most? What would I love to be doing most? Now, after we have identified what that is, then we go to that next piece of kindling, which is clarity. Now we are here to get clear, not on just what it is that we're here to do. We're not here only to get clear on tapping into our passion, but I also want to invite you to get clear, because this is important. So many people have a block with this part, right? Get clear on what the blocks may be. I have identified what my passion is. I have identified what fires me up. Oh, but now I'm afraid to go forth. I am being lazy about doing whatever it is I need to do to bring that forth. So let me get clear on what those blocks are. Let me attain clarity as to why I am resisting going forth with my passion. It has been said that if your vision doesn't scare you, it's too small. So have a big vision. Have a big vision. And then when that fear comes up, and that fear may sound like, oh, I'm not good enough to do this. Oh man, people are going to talk about me. I don't know enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. I don't have enough money. I have too much money. How can you have too much money? You know, whatever those I'm not enoughs, the not enoughs, whatever those are, we want to be clear. We want to identify those. And then as we start to identify them, this is how we let them go. We don't try to fight them, because those thoughts will come up. We don't try to fight them. All we want to do is to be aware of them. You notice the thought and you get to go, oh, that's an interesting thought. And it's not the truth of who I am. The truth of who I am is that I am the vehicle of this passion. I am the vehicle that this desire, this highest dream is coming forth through, so that the planet is uplifted. Now, here's the thing about what I just said, that the planet is uplifted. We may never see it. That's okay. As long as you are moving forward, following your passion, as long as you are following and living your purpose on purpose and getting clear on what the blocks are, now the universe goes conspires to bring your desires to fruition. I want you to think about this, that you are backed by the entire universe. That intelligence that causes the earth to spin on its axis over 900 miles an hour, that same intelligence that causes the sun to shine, that same intelligence that has created everything that there is that same intelligence that beats your heart. It is the same intelligence that breathes your breath. So we want to also get clear that we are one with this divine intelligence, which is why I love spiritual mind treatment. I love affirmative prayer. And those first two steps are the most important to recognize. You can call it God, you can call it Buddha, you can call it Allah, you can call it, or what was that song that we heard earlier today? Can't think of who it is right now. But anyway, we get to call it Buddha, call it, you get to call it what you want, and then tap into it and then recognize that you are one with it. There is no separation here. Again, I go back to saying this. What do you think put the desire in your heart? What do you think put that passion and that purpose within you? It's done that so that it could experience that through you. Dr. Ernest Holmes says that there is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. And he said, that life is my life now. I switched it up to fit me. There is only one life. That life is God. That life is perfect. I am that life now. You are the perfect life of God. So that's something else we want to be clear on as we clear out those blocks and those thoughts, because those blocks are only thoughts, right? Those disempowering thoughts. Oh, I'm not good enough. I'll never make it. Those are disempowering thoughts. Yes, this dream has come up. This purpose has come up, and I'm passionate about it. But they told me back when I was a kid that I will never amount to anything, or whatever the story might be. Once we get clear on that, now we get to get clear on, oh, wait a minute. I am the expression of the divine. The divine expresses as me. Let me be clear on this. Let me embrace this. Let me embody this. That I am a representative of the divine. You are a representative of the divine because the divine represents itself as you. Holy boldness. Oh man, I am all fired up because I know that which causes the sun to shine beats my heart so that it can experience its life as my life. So we want to get clear, number one, on what those blocks are, right? What those blocks may be. And then we want to have the courage to let them go. Have the courage to let them go. And then let me back up. Have the courage to let them go. And if you're not sure on how to do that, then connect with a practitioner. Connect with someone who is not going to co-sign your. Do not connect with people who will be there in your misery. You don't want to connect with those people. You want to connect with friends who are going to say, you know what, I believe in you. I think you can do this. In fact, I know that you can do this. Right? Then we want to get clear on the mental equivalent that was spoken about a little bit earlier. As we believe, so it is done. So when you believe, not if you believe, when you believe that you can attain your highest purpose, your highest desire, when you believe that, you will achieve that. It is done unto us as we believe. And we want to go past the belief to absolutely knowing, because beliefs will change. What I believe today may change tomorrow based on new information, or based on some old thoughts coming up again, which has me believing that I'm not good enough, right? So beliefs change, but beliefs they're a great place to start. As we believe, so it is, right? But then we want to get to knowing, because you're knowing. Once you know that you know that you know, your knowing doesn't change, but what your knowing does is it deepens. You have a deeper understanding, standing under the awareness that you are created in the spiritual image and likeness and out of the nature of the divine itself, here on purpose to live, on purpose to serve your purpose, which is also serving humanity. Now, so there's the passion, then we got clarity. And then the other part of the kindling is gratitude. Oh my God. In all things, be grateful. In all things, be grateful. In spiritual mind treatment, we are taught that gratitude is the fourth step. Thanksgiving is the step, is step 4. The first step is recognition, recognizing that there's only one life, one power, one presence. Step 2 is that I am one with that one power, that one life, that one presence. Step 3, coming from step 1 and 2, is that now I speak my word. I am realizing that the desire that I am speaking is now made manifest. Step 4 is I am grateful for this word spoken. I'm grateful for this answered prayer. So how it's taught is the fourth step. But I want to throw this out there, that making gratitude the first step, or the preamble to the first step. You will hear me in my prayers say, I am so very grateful for this moment. I am grateful for this opportunity to speak this word. I am grateful to recognize, and then I go into my 5 steps. But in all things, be grateful. Scripture says, in all things, be grateful. It doesn't say for all things. It says in all things. So what does that mean? Even when you're having a crazy day, even be grateful. Even when that person pushes that button or triggers you, be grateful. I love that one. When that person pushes the button, be grateful to them. See, because they may have pushed the button, but they did not install the button. So when that button is pushed, it's a beautiful opportunity to say, oh, thank you so much for pissing me off or aggravating me. Thank you so much, because now it has allowed whatever that was pushed, it has allowed that to come up, so I can now start to heal that. Has nothing to do with them except for that they push the button. Thank you so much. I am in deep gratitude for that, because now this is up for me to heal. So let me heal this. In all things, be grateful. People will say, but Reverend Eugene, what about if you're experienced an illness? In that, be grateful. Be grateful. And it's that gratitude that is a creative energy that creates more to be grateful for. Yeah. So even in that experience of the physical body going through an illness, or whatever it is, you're in the hospital or whatever, be grateful for the life that you are living right here and right now. Be grateful. Catch this. Remember, it is done unto us as we believe. Be grateful that the body temple is healed now. Don't worry about the appearances. And you caught what I said. I am grateful that the body temple is healed. Not healing, but it is healed in spite of the appearances. In all things, be grateful. But Reverend Eugene, you don't know what my bank account says. I don't care what your bank account says, because we want to be grateful that we are surrounded by an abundance of everything, an abundance of money, an abundance of creativity, an abundance of love, an abundance of oxygen, an abundance. Do you realize that there are over, 30 to 40 trillion cells within the body, all focused on one thing? They all have their different jobs, but they all come together to make sure that this divine body temple functions perfectly. So if we find ourselves in the hospital, we have the opportunity to stop and be grateful for the healing that is taking place now. So when it comes to being fired up, and we've identified our passion and our desire, and we got clear on what it is that we are to do, and then we got clear on all of that, and now we are grateful that it is done. We're grateful that it is done. I am grateful that I am open, receptive, and available to allow this passion to come forth. Oh my God, I am grateful. And then we come to trust. Trust that this is complete. Trust that you have everything that you absolutely need in order for that passion, for that desire to be brought to fruition. Trust it. Why? Because we are surrounded by, let me put it the way that Dr. Ernest Holmes says, right? That there is a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. And we are surrounded by this power. Now, what I want to also let you in on is that you are that power of the universe. You are the power for good. Trust that. I ask clients, so do you trust God? They go, yes, absolutely. Cool. Do you trust yourself? Well, maybe not as much. And I say, okay, well, let me point this out. If there's no separation, that God and I are one, Spirit and I are one, Source and I are one, if I trust the Source, then I must trust myself because there's no separation. So going back to the clarity, let me get clear that I am one with this infinite intelligence. So trust in the power of your word, trust in the power of the infinite intelligence to bring your word to fruition, and trust that you are the vehicle through which it is manifested. Holy boldness. And then we get to walk boldly in the knowing that there isn't anything, not a single thing that can stop, hinder, or keep us from showing up as our divine, magnificent selves. Trust in who you are. Trust in the power that beats your heart. Trust in that speaks your word. Right? Be passionate about this thing called life. Life is precious. Handle with prayer. One more thing I want to say, right? Because we are beautifully created. Oh my God, we are so, as I like to say, we are humanly divine and divinely human. We have been given everything that we need. We have been set up, right? So people say, be careful of what you ask for. I'm going to invite us to use a different way of saying that, because they say, be careful for what you ask for, because you're going to get it, right? Well, if that's the case, and it is done unto us as we believe. So then let's not be careful, because being careful has a little bit of fear in there, right? You got to be careful. So knowing that we're going to get what we ask for, then let's be aware of what we ask for. Going back to clarity. Because there's a power for good in the universe greater than we are, and we can use it. And we use it through our thoughts, our words, and our feelings. Passion, clarity, gratitude, and trust. These are the kindling of being fired up. So I want to end this. I want to anchor this in prayer. So I stand in this awareness, and I stand in this place of gratitude, so grateful to be aware that there is only one power, one presence, and one life, and that is the power and the presence and the life of God, that infinite intelligence that governs the universe through divine law and unconditional love. As I recognize that it is everywhere present at all times, I know that it is present right where I am. No matter where I am, God is revealing itself in, through, and as the I am that I am. And as I know this to be the truth of my life, I know this to be the truth of each individualized expression of God tuning in today, and also those who may tune in a little later. Right here, right now, God is, we are. And so it is from my awareness of our oneness in God that I speak this word for the courage to stand boldly in holy boldness, right? Knowing that as we stand in the divinity of our being, we are guided and directed to experience only the highest and the best. For this and for so much more than these words can ever express, I am so very grateful and thankful. It is from this space of gratitude that I now release my word into the awesome and dynamic activity of love and law. See, I know that as this word is released into the law has no other choice. It has no recourse. It cannot help itself. It must take these words and mold them and shape them, design and create them, and then return them unto us, not void or empty, but absolutely and completely fulfilled. And so fulfilled, we now allow it to be. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. Peace and blessings.
And so it is. Thank you, Reverend Eugene. What an awesome talk this morning. And it's now my opportunity to go into our section of prosperity. We appreciate all of you being here, participating, contributing to keep the center going. And you can donate at cslmidtown.org/donate. And as we bring up the affirmation of prosperity, we can you can scan the QR code as well, and it'll take you right to that site. Say with me our affirmation of prosperity. I live in a universe of abundance. As I freely and joyfully give, I join in the divine flow, and all that I share with life returns to me multiplied abundantly. And so it is. So you can set up a one-time gift or ongoing donations, however that works for you. And I'm going to turn it back over to Lee Huffman for some announcements and take us on out.
Thank you, Vance. Thank you so much, Eugene. That was an amazing talk today. For those of you that would like to talk more with Eugene, you can join him in a brief discussion on Zoom, and I'll tell you how to do that in just a moment. But you have to listen to the announcements first. So anyhow, request from earlier, please keep the center in your prayers and your thoughts. We are a growing center, and it is a wonderful time. Create a mental equivalence for growth and abundance for yourselves and for the center. Give of your time and your money to support the center, and volunteer to be part of the co-creation team to contribute and define the future of CSL Midtown by sending a message to president@cslmidtown.org. Upcoming events next Sunday, again from 10 a.m. to 10:50 a.m. The adult study group is doing an in-depth discussion on religious science, going through the Science of Mind textbook. And you don't even have to read it before, although it's fun to do that. It's a great discussion. And the practitioners lead that next Sunday from 11 to 12. Join us online for our next celebration service with Reverend Sunshine Michelle Coleman. Just a beautiful speaker, wonderful speaker. And we're looking forward to her talk on, again, holy boldness and the title of Unbounded and Unstoppable. So to get to the CSL Midtown Zoom line and continue the discussion, go to cslmidtown.org, scroll down where it says Zoom, and note the code underneath the Zoom and click on the icon, and it'll take you in after you put in the code. So please join us there after we have the closing affirmation of life. I leave this place now knowing something better than I knew before. I go forth into the world with a heart full of love and a mind full of good sense. I look at the world in a greater way, knowing that I have within me everything I need to create the life I desire. I give thanks for this understanding. I am grateful for the spirit of life that lives through me, and so it is. Namaste.
There is a power for good in the universe greater than you are, and you can use it.